Hey guys, Fernand Raymond here. James is here. So we're doing a podcast after some time. Haven't been doing podcast last couple of months, but James was producing every single day. You guys probably saw at SeekaHost University all the courses he produced.
Oh, it's been a busy one.
Go, yeah, So you should go and check them out. And now we're starting to do again some podcast talking about the things like lot of the things about the AI right now.
Mhm.
So that's what we're going to look in this podcast. And James is going to explain to you some stuff, share, and also I'll drop my bits about what I'm thinking about it and how, as a blogger, as a digital marketer, how can you utilize the AI tools, James?
Yeah. I mean, there's so much out at the moment. It's almost overwhelming, isn't it? The amount of information, different tools and companies getting started with AI. So yeah, we just thought we'd touch base on it because obviously, as a company, we use certain stuff. We might prefer certain stuff, and yeah, it's really great way of getting started in many different ways. And yeah, we'll just have a little chat. I think we'll could probably get started with some of the stuff that we use as well. Stuff that's helped us, content creating, anything from article writing or even getting great ideas. But again, it's quite the market. There's so much out at the moment, isn't there? It can be a bit overwhelming when you're trying to choose something that's good.
That's true. I mean, if you just watch one tool on Instagram, you will see bunch of other similar tools, right? Now, one thing we started using the Chat GPT, and of course we use the paid plan, also the free plan. I've been using, and it writes as of for now. It's only indexing. It's saying like until 2021, so the data is pretty old, not that old, but it will compose an article, structure something that you want. How you would do it, I would say, is if you're using as a blogger, add your thoughts, add your expertise, add your knowledge, kind of go through it, add your lines, because it's so good to structure an article and give it the bullet points and the thumb. And if you can add your expertise, because I've been testing on my blog, FernandoRaymond.com business blog. If you guys go, you guys can see some of the latest articles. I even mentioned that I was using ChatGPT AI tool, and because it just gets me what would have taken me 20-30 minutes, it's writing me like 4-5 minutes, right? And then what I would do, I ask the right questions and get the structure, get the article done for a Word document, and then add my thoughts. So that's getting indexed in a matter of minutes. Of course, I have a Google News approved site, so that's what I'm seeing. And James, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's if you use it in the smart way, isn't it? Because a lot of people are just going there, they're getting a blog post, posting it straight away, and then wondering why it's not ranking so well. Because ChatGPT gives you great information, but like you said, you need to add in your relevant knowledge as well. Otherwise, you're just using sort of recycled information. But by adding your especially in terms of my site as well, when I use it, if I add video content, it just starts ranking straight away. Because then you've got the information that you've got from ChatGPT written in in a good way. You've gone over it, rewritten it a bit, added your knowledge, and then added some content as well. And yeah, it's working quite well, isn't it? Because we've had a few case studies actually where we've tried it with a number of blogs.
Tried, but on SeekaHost.co, you have some of the articles which pretty fast ended up ranking. Of course, the domain authority matters, how your domain is being held, and the authority of the domain. So it just starts ranking, so it's all starts working out. And
it's actually quite surprising, isn't it? I mean, so I done one of them on one of our gaming sites, just to see. It's quite a good article though, obviously, and it does involve quite a lot of the videos, other content that we've made. But it took a week, didn't it? 1 week to rank on the first on the first page, which I just found absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, this isn't the case for absolutely everything, but it's the way that you can use that tool to give you information, or even like a list of stuff. You don't need to get it to write the entire top 10, top 20, top 30, but you can get the original idea. You can then use your knowledge and talk about each individual point. And yeah, it's done really well. It's actually surprisingly well,
It is. I mean, one thing I actually had to tell about is like on Being, it start ranking pretty fast. It's really, really fast. And yeah, it's been getting indexed pretty fast and ranking for a pretty competitive keywords. You guys can actually check on my blog. Some of those blogs recently published those guides and the stuff, which would have taken a lot of time. And I used it, and it's ranking well on Bing. And Bing is also getting a shift for a lot of search volumes are going to Bing now. It's getting popular. And also, if anybody using Internet Explorer, that's their default search engine installed on the browser on Microsoft.
Exactly that.
So That's the thing. And the other thing I want to tell is like there are so many other similar tools coming. I was sharing with James, and he was telling me like, nah, like this, they're actually all built on this base, and it's about of their marketing. They're trying to differentiate slightly. There are also tools if you're using ChatGPT for AI writing content, like paraphrasing tools. But I felt some of those paraphrasing, I don't want to even go about the names and several ones. When you paraphrase it, it kind of get really dilutes and it doesn't really sound well. So things will get improved. A lot of better paraphrases will start coming, but the best would be if you get the article written and put it on a Word document and you change it. You add your data, you kind of fine tune it, you actually add your expertise and the stuff and all, images, tables, price. That's what's actually happens. We do it a lot as Click do. We have a team of people who also use the tools, but they make sure it goes through the human, because it's nothing like human kind of looking for the latest data. Because also other things, like if you're using those data is old.
Pre 2021.
Yeah, it's a little old, 2 years old. But the day will come, it will start indexing very recently. I'm waiting for the day that it starts indexing real time, like a search engine. You can literally submit the website to be accessible by the AI tool bots. That's going to be really interesting,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it won't be long, will it? Bing's really almost getting there already, isn't it? I mean, with the fact, have you used Bing lately? They're really...
Yeah, I use Bing every day now.
I do as well.
Bing, and also I publish every day on my blog. So I try to go to Bing and search it. And Bing has search volume, because you can see, like, especially in our industry, web hosting, Minecraft, like WordPress domain, all these competitors also advertising. I've been seeing it. So like people are getting the returns, people advertising. It's not as, I don't know why they didn't really supercharge the search engine and made it really good, because I'm seeing outdated ones ranking. And the other worst thing is, like, from the same website, it will end up showing like 3 pages sometimes on Bing. That's not the real way, really. So that's about it. But however, Bing has search volume still, and I use Bing. And one thing I felt is the Bing answer machine is a little slow.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I do use it as well, because like you said, it comes up default, as you open up your internet page, unless you set Chrome or something like that, it comes up. So I do use it a lot. But one thing I wanted to add to that is I've actually been noticing on the analytics of each of my blogs and websites, it really is going up. On some of them, it's actually Bing has overtaken Google on who it sends or refers to my site, which I found quite interesting. But that's really been the last month.
Minecraft related stuff is a lot of search volume is happening on Bing. So
yeah, the only problem is though is like you said, sometimes the answers aren't great. So if I want a really good comprehensive answer, sometimes I will go to Google it, for my general day-to-day. Or like if you want to check who's ranking, normally straight to Google, check who's ranking, and then back to Bing. But they have integrated their AI bot quite well, haven't they? So you can use it as your as you're searching on Bing, you can just scroll up now, you can ask Bing a question. I had a bit of a funny sort of silly story, but so I've had a problem for ages with Bing indexing one of my sites, right? JDog Official, Bing does not want to touch it at all. Has never shown it once. You could go down 20 pages down, will never show it. Even if you search Minecraft, you could ask it specifically. So when the Bing bot come out, I thought, hang on, let me see if I can use this AI to try and, rank it or, try and get it up on there. So I started asking it, have you indexed this site? It says, no. Do you recognize this site? No. So then I started thinking, well, why not? So I asked it more specifically, do you not index sites that show Google ads? So I thought, could that be the reason? And it was funny to watch an AI answer like it did. I really should have recorded it.
What did it say?
So it gave me this, like when someone tries to blow you off almost, it tries to give you a complete, it done that to me. And I was like, hang on. So then I asked it again. It goes, no, that's not the case. It won't happen. So I said, okay, so can you it could find my YouTube channel and it could find the description. So I said, all right, look through the description and can you find the link for JDog Official? It gave me everything but the link. It's almost like as if it's been discouraged because it's showing Google ads on there, but it won't say, it won't say, oh, this is why I haven't indexed you. But I have tried everything on Bing,
So you're feeling because of you having Google ads?
I think so. I really think so, because I've tried everything. Everything is indexed when I index.
Could be maybe, because I had to check with Dinesh whether he has any Google ads, the AdSense ads implemented websites that are indexed. Because I mean, my FinandRaymond.com business sites doesn't have Google ads. This is the reason it gets indexed immediately.
Honestly, I think it is because I went over and above, even when you go into your Cloudflare and you set the settings so it can be read by other searchers, it doesn't want to know at all. To this day, you type in JDog Official, the whole URL into a search bar, it won't come up nothing. Type it on Google, first page, for most Minecraft things.
You're missing
Type
a
in
lot of
thing.
traffic though. I know
Oh
you're
man,
missing a
it's
lot of traffic.
frustrating.
Because on being for Minecraft related stuff, I definitely think there is a lot of traffic. So you're definitely missing it. But do a little bit of research. I would say I will also look at it because, yeah, could be they don't want to send traffic to a site that has a lot of Google ads when end up Google making the money.
But this is it. It's the only reason I could think, because even if you
go, that's a good point. Really, let's ask it, guys. Like, if you're thinking about that, and if you think like that could be one of the reason, if you experienced it, or else if you have a site that has Google AdSense that's been indexed on Google, let James know.
Oh, I'd be so interested.
I'm definitely going to start testing that one.
Yeah, honestly, and it was just, I wish I'd saved the conversation just to show you. I've never seen AI sort of like, go around the points so well, and I thought this is quite weird. But yeah, interesting point with Bing. But yeah, apart from that, I do use it. I like the way some things are set up on it in terms of like your favorite tabs. You can set up all your pages in different groups. So there's good points and bad points, like everything.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'll go about like how a person, if you're a blog, if you have a blog that's so far been using human written all the time, human written, you wrote it, you got it from writers and everything. And that one thing I started seeing, we used a lot of writers, and the writers, Dinesh found out they actually using the AI tools. We really thought that they would end up writing. So then we found out the tools. We started using different tools to even differentiate. So
yeah.
People are using it, people are using it, so you might as well get using it and test it, because one thing, it makes you very efficient, and also it really rhymes, no spelling mistakes, barely a grammar mistakes.
For me that's perfect. It's like a free Grammarly, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know, Grammarly is not even advertising anymore. Nobody seems to be using it.
I know, right? There's been so many services affected by this that have almost become obsolete overnight,
And the other thing I felt is so I actually even today started yesterday got a domain and just hosting and building planning on an affiliate structure for a course, really. So what I found, so if you're building an affiliate site that you are not going to worry about, because some of those affiliates, some of the terms, if you find out new terms that has way less CPC, like ad spend cost, you can send paid traffic. So if you're sending paid traffic, all that matters is the content doesn't matter who wrote it. If the content is well written to be presentable and people can read it, that's what people want for a conversion and also on the website. So you can use tools like ChatGPT. So I'm going to completely test this on the tool. I'll tell you on the one of our next podcasts how this goes, really, because some of the affiliate sites, you don't have to worry, because if a conversion is $20, $25, and your one traffic cost is less than 10p or 20p, you can spend £1 and send 10 visitors, 5 visitors, right? So there are things like that. And for that, you can use those kind of tools, because if you're building micro affiliate sites that you put especially like Amazon affiliate products and the stuff, and you can use this tool because the reader friendliness, and you can quickly build a website because you don't have to wait for writers for a long time. You can produce 10 articles, have it done, get the images done by a designer, do your presentation, add your thoughts, get the articles published and all the things in less than a couple of hours, and then site it up and running rather than waiting.
So true. I mean, website design, especially, I wanted to touch on this because, so like when you create a page, sometimes it takes you a long time to find the right content, the articles, stuff with the right keywords that you want to get on that page.
Yeah,
creating pages now is so much easier. I used it on one of my other websites just to get a number of pages up, that are sort of relevant to the, and I got them up in minutes, like stuff. But like you can ask it and then keep asking it questions as well. So, you can get the details, the fine details, and more importantly, technical details, which you might not know. For instance, one of our posts about optimizing a server itself, or even setting up a server at home, you can ask it and it'll give you the precise answer within seconds, something that you might spend hours and hours looking through different tutorials. So technical stuff, I love it for, or even for yourself.
It's getting interesting. It's going to get even interesting. What I'm seeing, as I mentioned, it's going to start, when you start indexing real time, and then you start indexing one of your articles you just wrote a week ago. When you start indexing and showing to people. And then what I'm wondering is when I don't know, have you used it when ChatGPT or any of the tools come to the mobile? You
Oh
know,
yeah. Oh, of
when
course.
when it comes, people are going to ask a lot of questions right now, of course, because of the data is like till 2021. People are
Hmm.
not that happy about real-time information.
Yeah,
But when
yeah.
it starts actively beyond the handphone, people are not going to worry about going to Google, because Google, people know about the data privacies and all. However, for commercial things, and people will still go, like
Hmm.
a local business, find me a dentist near me and the stuff, because
Yeah.
that's a different dynamic side. Not these AI tools are still going to pick up with the location indexations and everything.
Yeah.
For other how to tutorials, how to guides, how to, like, so it's going to be really like interesting when it starts coming. And as a blogger, if you are, what we can say is like, start utilizing. There is no reason
Yeah.
that you have to wait for like weeks and everything, a content writer to send you the content.
Oh, I use it much more now. It's crazy, isn't it? I do wonder, there's a lot of people very upset on Fiverr right now, isn't there, with their
Ah,
sort of writing
they,
jobs and
people got really upset. Yeah, I know.
yeah.
They
But
got really hammered about these things.
the thing is, realistically, because I've paid for a couple of articles here and there, just cheap ones, so I wanted to see what it comes out like.
Yeah,
I'm almost certain, like you said, they're using the same tools
they're
anyway.
using,
So what's
they're
the point of
using.
paying somebody to do something you can do
I
yourself?
used to always write my content. I would
Yeah,
always
yeah.
write it, send to Manuela or some of our editors, or it's myself,
Mhm.
I'll edit it, right?
Yeah.
I'll just quickly write it. I would, and there would be like errors, spelling mistakes and all. And now I'm like, dude, let's ask this question and get this idea. Even I was like, so
Hmm.
I used a lot my brain to produce the content. Even I could write 1,000 word article and all. But now, because of this tool, is there, just like open it, ask it, write questions, get the data, get the research. So it's just like that tool that you can ask to get the data,
Yeah.
and put it on right presentation and go in with your thoughts.
It's almost giving everybody a personal assistant, hasn't it? In a way,
Yeah,
you
yeah, that
always have a tab up for Chat GPT. I think a lot of
exactly.
people do in this profession. They've got their one thing there, got a question you can't
Oh,
answer. Oh my god, live chat as well. I've used it for live chat. Sometimes when somebody asks you a question you're not 100% sure on, you don't want to give them a bad
yeah,
answer.
yeah.
It's great for being able to check something, double check
Yeah,
something, because you got somebody on your shoulder, going, yeah, no, that's
it's even some of the customer care things. When I see like it says like how to host a website on SeekaHost, it
hmm.
will go and read about one of the guides in
Oh my
SeekaHost,
god, yeah.
and it will explain. So it's just a matter of it getting really good. And then I would say put a price. Those ChatGPT guys should have put a price, because
Hmm.
otherwise everybody's going to use it. If it becomes like
Yeah.
so free, the best version, oh, it's
Oh, it's
like,
well, they
it's,
do
I
it a
mean,
little bit, don't they? They charge 20, they do like an
20 is
upgrade
fine.
price,
I
but
would say put it up to 50.
hmm. Yeah.
Right. They should release like the versions. So if they come, their premium version is $100, and then
Yeah.
says like, this is indexing till right this moment, have
Uh,
the best content, and it's fast and super accurate. So it's like you're hiring the best writer.
yeah, this is it. Yeah.
So it should be, it's fair, right? So it should be like, because some of the people, even in the early days, I saw we never paid for Href,
Hmm.
SEMrush. But when you climb the ladder, you start paying for all the tools,
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
softwares. And then the people who climbed the ladder, who also of course came to that level of earning, I believe, like they did the hard work, they made the money, they've
Hmm.
been in the game for long, so they operating a smarter tool which is more expensive would be much better.
Yeah.
Because what will happen is like, if, if it becomes freely available for everybody, just a newcomer who never thought about writing, using their brain, right, don't
Hmm.
even know how to ask the right question, is going to start using it.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
thing is, it's
Just the
going to be a
case.
disadvantage for them, for their own life and the creative thinking, and to become a proper operator, because the tool became free. It's like calculators are good, but I like the fact that when you were in that school, we had to do it in the brain. We
Yeah.
have to write it, or we have to think and do that, because that develops your brain capacity. But right now, what is like some sort of thing, people are like, oh, calculator.
Yeah.
It's, you can think as efficient, but there is a stage for people to develop, especially for young people. I would say, like, if you are like a teenager, if you are like very young, don't jump on those AI tools. Let
Hmm.
your brain grow to become a better operator, so that you know to ask the right questions
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
operate that better. So it's like being a pilot. So if you just got like autopilot all the time, you never learn to fly properly from the
Hmm.
first day. But if you're a pilot who has been flying manually, and now when autopilot is operating and becoming full scale, but you know how to operate it, at a disaster you are ready. It's like that,
Yeah, yeah.
because you don't want to. That's one thing I want to tell for these people who are jumping in, like all these AI tools. Don't be that person. If the internet runs out, you don't have a way, because you got to use your brain.
Absolutely. So you're going to get a lot of beginners that seem quite good at
Yeah,
stuff without actually having that real knowledge behind them, you know? And then
that's what
also
I
that they
feel.
don't know if the answer is wrong. That's because
Exactly.
ChatGPT clearly states that the answer can be wrong. It can be dangerous at some
Yeah,
points. It
yeah,
actually has a warning, doesn't it? So, you know,
yeah.
these people also need to know when actually, no, we need to stop now. And that's one of the things I do like to do, you know, ask it questions that I do have a knowledge about so I can see whether it answers it.
That's the way. That's the way to use it.
Mm.
I like it. Like, so I think Italy banned it, because like if like kids start using, they're not going to think to write. That's the danger of it, because the thinking develops your neurons to fire up.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
right, you just like thinking, do it, critically think, analyze, you plan it, it's not right, you kind of becoming that critical thinker. But if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
use the tool and you don't even know whether the tool is right, or even to critically argue, because you're like, all they know is to use the tool. So that's the danger. I hope like it's you should put a price. I
Yeah, yeah,
would
yeah.
say, don't give it for free. They gave for free for a little bit, cancel it, put up a premium price and make a lot of money, of course, from the people who are willing to pay, and use smart operators who are willing to pay the price to use it. Because otherwise, it's like giving that free supplement for everybody to just drink it up and be Superman.
Oh yeah, I mean teachers must really be hating their time right now
Yeah,
because everything has to be double and triple checked before they actually check whether somebody copied somebody else.
yeah,
Now they got to find out whether it's completely AI written, you know, every
yeah.
piece of coursework, you know, the lazy kids coming in with like
People are
500
using it.
pages. So,
People
yeah,
are
yeah.
using it. Even universities, I heard, people are really good. Because what people would do, people will get it written and try to edit it and use
Mm-hmm.
paraphrasing tools and all. So
Yeah.
so it's damaging them though. I mean, I like the
Yes.
fact, like in unis and this college and the stuff, we did the assignments. It was hard and I hated it. I'm like, how on earth I could write a 2,000 words, but because of we wrote, now we can write. I see the
Mm-hmm.
articles. You can just
Mm-hmm.
easily crack out
Yeah, yeah.
like a 1,000, 2,000 word article less than an hour.
Again, that's practice though, isn't it? So I remember when we first
Yeah.
started together, we first
Yeah,
started
you
with the
didn't write it.
blogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but it took a little while, but then you get your writing style and then
Yeah.
also you know, analytics and you get feedback of what people want to read, you know, so then you can actually start tailoring the good bits, you know, seeing what worked during a blog, which again is hard to if you're putting out automatic content. One of the ways I did want to touch on this on the podcast as well is I've mentioned it to you before, the Chat GPT plugin that you can just add in for WordPress. That's quite a smart way of using it if you know how, really, because and if anybody hasn't seen how this works, it's basically a free WordPress plugin and you can
Yeah.
connect it up with ChatGPT. So you put your plugin in on your website, you get your API credentials, and then you're basically connecting it up to GPT, and then you pay per,
Okay.
you know, 1,000 words or something like that. So,
Yeah.
you know, much like every other business model here, but the way that I like, obviously people have made different companies from it, you know, doing this and doing that, but I like to use it as a personal assistant. So I've actually set one up myself, which I'm trying to build at the moment. I've set it a limit at £20 a month, but then I'm trying
Yeah.
to build up my personal assistants. So I've got one that might be great for email marketing, you know, so that AI bot has been trained for that. Another one's been trained for something like that. So I think that's a really critically that's a smart way of going about it, because then you're creating a team, you know. So
Yeah.
for me, in about a month or so, once I've got it, I'm going to have a team of like these AI bots which have been trained specifically to do certain things for me, and I think that's a great way to do it. And obviously, you know, the market is a bit saturated with these companies, because once people got this and you can set up your API, they're like, oh yeah, hundreds of great ideas. You know, developers are getting it left, right, and center from these companies that
Mm.
want to set up different AI bots. But I think it's probably going to be a bit of wait for it, see what happens, see who comes out best out of it. Stuff like Adobe, I think I shared you something yesterday. Adobe's coming out
Yeah.
with an excellent thing for its video editing.
Yeah.
You know, obviously,
I checked it. It wasn't that expensive. It's like $19 a month or so.
yeah, it's not bad, is it? Obviously, I thought
Yeah.
let's wait, because I reckon they're going to get this real good. Obviously, you know, Adobe working with AI is going to be much better than a company that's just started, that's just, you
Yeah.
know, just started doing stuff. Adobe can integrate all their other, because I don't actually use Adobe. I'm a DaVinci, you know, editor.
Yeah.
However, I've seen a lot of stuff on TikTok lately. You know, I'm starting to think maybe I'll give it a try. Adobe Editor, it does look
Mhm.
quite good. It's got a lot of,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, get used to it and try it. Like, I mean, it should be a good brand. And
yeah, I'm thinking about it.
yeah, I mean, the future, one other thing is like, touch base on for people, like, if you're a blogger, if you're only writing and producing, I'll tell you, yeah,
Mhm.
you're using ChatGPT or everything, which is fine, but start producing your voice, your notes, like your media, your videos, because it's going to come down as already now these all the caption tools, when I see that they pick the words very well.
Yeah.
So the AI tools can rank or absorb information from a video.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
all
yeah.
these things we do are going to get picked up when the AI can run through the web and start listening. What did James told? So if we ask like, what's James' opinion about, like it will come to that level. That's where it's going to move. It will be like the people can ask like, what does like James think about Minecraft latest update, right? So it will be
Oh,
really
that'd be
interesting
crazy.
when things get to that level. So producing it as
I've heard on a few podcasts actually, the new ChatGPT 4, the one that I think it's still in testing, the one that can connect to the internet and stuff, that can actually
yeah,
read pictures to such a level that apparently, and I've not seen it
yeah,
myself, but you can give it a picture of a food
yeah,
item, and
yeah.
then it tells you the ingredients. And I think that's the level it's building to at the moment. It can read the data of what it is, tell you how it's made, and I think that's the next sort of one that's going to be out. And that's going to be crazy, because that's bordering on what you're saying. It's actually analyzing images.
What are the any other AI tools or anything the bloggers
Yeah.
can use? Like who's
Uh,
like
so,
part
I
of
mean,
us?
this is bloggers and video creators. One of my favorites at the moment I've mentioned to you is Video, .ai or something like that. It's basically like the content, it takes a long video, takes a podcast like this, for instance, and cuts it into shorts with the
Okay.
subtitles, the captions. I love that.
Yeah,
That's one of my.
that tool seems to be fine, very personalized. Even the guys I hear from
Oh.
the guy called Matt,
Mhm.
emails and everything. So pretty cool tool. You guys can see in the description below.
One thing that I want to add with that as well is just the enormous way you can explode your channel with it. So I actually took a little look at my analytics
Yeah,
yesterday just to
yeah.
see the past 30 to 60 days. And just using these tools by creating shorts out of videos that you've already created
Mhm.
has grown about 400 subscribers within the past just under 60 days. And
Yeah,
that is solely through using recycled videos, So I'll find
yeah.
a good video, recycle it into smaller little ones. And honestly, it's winning the game. I don't know how more people aren't on this at the moment. So, the subscriber count is just going off the chart because YouTube's recommending shorts, and
Mhm.
this is making the most engaging sorts of shorts, So it's
Yeah.
smart way to go about it, especially if you're a content
Yeah,
creator at the
Video
moment.
AI. So you guys heard it. So we
Yeah,
started
but there's
using
a
it.
lot
We
of
just
different.
explaining you the tools like we basically use like at SeekaHost and on a daily basis. So our videos are getting so James
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
person for the tools and anything else that you recently used or
yeah. Not so much. I tend to stick with the ones that I know because, like, we
yeah.
done a lot of testing towards the start, and obviously, they're all quite cheap. But then, if you think about it all together, you could be paying £500 a month and different AI stuff. I generally think getting your basic Chat GPT updated pro version is going to be the
Mhm.
best thing you do, because that's
Yeah. So
because
that's been
essentially.
good. That's been good, right? What we invested in.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah,
because essentially all these other companies that do that's what they're using. They're using part of that, or the DALI one, which is
yeah,
the image one, and they're
yeah,
using that, paying for it, and then creating or developing their own system. But you can
yeah.
do it with ChatGPT. You don't need to pay all these other companies, especially if you're creative yourself. You don't need to do that. But and even, to be honest, even with Video.ai, what's happening now is actually platforms are offering it for free. So TikTok already offers its own caption thing now. So they've clicked
Mm,
onto it. They've gone, right, we'll
yeah,
we'll give our
yeah,
creators
yeah,
their own caption option. I mean, you
yeah.
use a different one, don't you? Use captions or something like that. There's
Yeah,
so many
yeah,
different.
an app called Captions, pretty easy, but it has a
Mhm.
limitation. It can only pick captions for videos up to 3 minutes.
Oh, okay, so it stops, does it, after?
So Video.ai also gives captions, or
Yeah, that's primarily what I use it for. But
I'll give it. So to this morning, the video which I did, I use
mhm.
captions. So that's why I had to stop the video at 3 minutes.
Yeah, no, definitely. I would definitely recommend you using it. 'Cause also,
Okay. And also Video.ai, just to go about it, like
mhm.
can we add filters and stuff on the videos when you're burning or not really?
I haven't actually tried with filters, so I tend to
Got got got
pre-edit, then
to,
I put it.
got, got to try it because I want to
Yeah,
see like can you because sometimes you don't have the proper color if you can just kind of filter it out
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
get the captions because I started producing like long form like 5-10 minutes videos telling
Hmm.
stories and the stuff and all. So yeah, that stops captions. Easy tool to
Hmm.
have it on the mobile phone as a mobile app, works pretty well. And
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, just for an example of, like, how well this can work. For instance, one of the long videos, we done a long video yesterday of like an interview with me.
yeah,
The
yeah,
actual long video itself has only had about 11 views so far. However, we created about 6 or 7 shorts from this,
Yeah.
Each short has got between 80 and 200 views, times 8 times 2 platforms, so that one video that got 11 views has actually now had about 3,000 views in different increments, different platforms. And it's just, that's how it can really help. It's just, love the tool. And it's a good one, and especially Video AI, because it's so, for instance, you can put in a video that's like top 10.
Yeah.
And it automatically cuts it into them 10 sections. I don't know how it does it so well, but it does. I put top 10 this. It split it up exactly at the start, cut it exactly at the end, put the subtitles. Subtitles are easy to change as well. So you got like an editor. So, as it's talking, it will say, do you want to edit this word, edit this word?
Yeah.
So, yeah, 100%. Apart from that, I haven't gone to all the AI tools. There's so many, isn't there? It's like,
there's a lot. Yeah, I mean, you can get lost about it, guys. Like, what you should be doing is like pick the thing. Even when it comes to social media and the channels, that's what I would do, right? Like, what you're good at, just keep on producing it and test the tools. Take a day, test it all, and then pick the ones that can utilize. At the moment, what we wanted to highlight on this video is for like bloggers. Get started. Use ChatGPT. See how you can be efficient, and because you gotta be ahead with the game in the production, right? So that's how you should be using it. You should add your expertise, add your thoughts, run through it once before publishing. At that way, you can scale your content. And the next podcast also, I'll actually show some of the websites that purely be building with these tools. However, adding our expertise with a person behind and a actual person behind the web understand. So that's why I highlight to people, build a personal brand name that the web knows, like you, JDog, Fernando Raymond. So Google bots are getting smart. They know JDog just published this one on JDog officials, right? So even though you use these tools, it's verified and fact checked by an authority and an author and a person and most credible. So that seems to be working. And that's what I'm seeing, because when I actually publish under my name, Fernando Raymond, and put it on those blogs, even though I use the tool, they get indexed and they rank, and that's been working and bringing in the traffic. So, and the underlying thing, don't be just like worried about organic traffic, because paid traffic works pretty well as well. So if you want fast result, you can build a website well using those tools and send paid traffic. You want to learn it, James dropped a course about Google AdWords. That's on SeekaHost University, the starter, where he learned by himself, really. Right?
It actually was, starting blogging. That's exactly where I started. It was a free course on SeekaHost University. I followed it.
I mean, you dropped the one on Google AdWords, right?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, these are the ones I've done when I first started blogging. I actually started from
because
SeekaHost University. There was a particular thing that Manuele was a blogging, start blogging. That's what I folled. That's the exact course. It was great.
That one, and then the course where I'm mentioning, like anybody just thinking about, okay, is it the only chance? Organic SEO is not the only way to get the traffic. It's very hard. Do that. It takes time. But if you want fast, immediate traffic, you put up a website, you want traffic tomorrow. That's how I do when I publish an article. And you can learn it all at SeekaHost University. James did a course, and it's very straightforward. Just go through the course. That's how. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to James. So guys, absolutely. Like, we're going to keep this podcast short, but more podcasts going to come. If you want anything specifically, drop in the comments below and subscribe to the channel. And SeekaHost, Fernando Raymond, JDog is there, massively growing. And and James, any other final thoughts? Or we?
No, actually, I did want to say, if anybody has got any other great AI tools that you do use, leave it down in the comments. It'll be interesting for us just to have. We'll like to have a go through, and we'll obviously answer back as well. And it's just nice to check it out. So definitely leave it down in the comments. Let us know what your favorite is too.
Yeah, guys. So we'll be back with the next podcast, and see you again.
See you later, guys. Bye bye.